Hey Eric, chapter 9, section 5, slope. And so yeah, slope, you think of like a ski slope, a hill. The bigger the number, the steeper the number. Positive slopes are going this way. As you go to the right, you go up, that's a positive slope. And if you go so up, right, positive, and if you go to the right and you go down, that's a downright negative. Downright negative slope. And if it's flat, that's a zero slope, and if it's vertical, that's an undefined slope. We'll talk about those today also, all right? So I'd like you to show your work like this. Most people do the rise and then the run. I always do the run and then the rise. I want to get the run over with. So if my slope from here, I go over 3 and up 4. I write my formula. M equals rise over run, and M equals 4/3. Just show your work like that. Do the run first and then the rise. If you're going right and up, it's a positive slope. If you're going right like here, I would go right 1 and then down 3. Doesn't matter, you could show the stair step either way. But this is the way I'd show it. It'd be M equals rise over run, and M equals the run, or the rise is it's -3 over 1, and then that reduces to just -3 if your denominator is 1. Anyways, but your slope is always a rate of change. It's a fraction. If it's not looking like a fraction, just stick a 1 under there. All right. So here, so your skill check, I just did my book. I went over 3 up 2, over 3 up 2. So it's M equals rise over run. That's a slope of 2/3. Bob's saving $2 every 3 days, or he's saving 67 cents about a day. Then here I went over 2 and down 3, which is like going down 3 over 2, but M equals rise over run. So M equals -3 over 2. The vertical goes on top. The vertical goes on top. The change in Y goes on top. The horizontal, or the X, this is like delta Y over delta X, which we'll see in a second here. And then if you have a negative, just stick it out in front. M equals -3 over 2. All right, so then they get into this formula. When you're given 2 points, you can find the slope, but I'll show you how I do it. It's just way easier, right? So you can look at your examples, blah, 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 but here's these problems right here. I've got them written over here on this page. So I just made a table and wrote, the first point was 6/4, so I wrote 6/4 and then 2/3. And I'm just looking at my change. What happened here? This went down 7, this went down 4, and it's just going to be the delta Y over delta X. It's -7 over -4. If they're both negative, you just say M equals 7/4. So here I'm using the formula M equals delta Y over delta X, which is, the delta Y is like Y2 minus Y1. Delta X is like X2 minus X1. Put in the tables, you gotta go in this. If you go down, you gotta go down. If you wanna go up, you gotta go up. You gotta do them the same direction. So, anyways, number 2, if you wanna pause and try it. So I put them in the table. This went down 11, and this went down 2. So the rise is -11, the change in Y, and the change in X is -2. So my slope is 11 over 2. And slope, you get to leave it improper. You can reduce it if you can, but just leave it improper. You'd go over 2 and up 11 to graph it. So again, rather than this, you could write M equals delta Y over delta X. You could be writing that formula when it's a table like this. But here this is +0, and this is -8. So it looks like I got 0 over -8. 0 divided by anything is 0. And if you graphed it, it'd just be a flat line. you went over 2 up 9 and you went over 6 up 9, it's just a flat line, which is a 0 slope. That'd be pretty boring to ski on that slope. You're just kind of walking on a sidewalk there. Number 4, looks like you went down 7 and then you went up 9. So this is negative 7 over 9. So anyways, m equals negative 7/9. So you could use either formula, m equals delta y over delta x. If you want to write the, this formula, I don't like the equals monkey shine. I don't like when the book does that, or anybody does that. So here, looks like number 5, looks like I went up 8. And again, you can pause and try them yourself and then check, or just watch, whichever way. So here, this is 8 divided by 0, which is not 0. Anything divided by 0 is a word. It's undefined, right? That's your answer, undefined. And if you skied on that slope, it'd be a cliff. Here you went over 5 and down 2, or you went over 5 and up 6. It's just a vertical line if you connect the 2 points. That's a cliff. Don't want to ski on a cliff. Right? And here you went up 4, and here you went down 1. And so that's 4 divided by negative 1, which is just negative 4. There's your slope. All right? So that's the way I do it. I think it's kind of foolproof. The way the book shows it is tougher. I think when you put in a table, tables are good for just organizing your information, all right? Okay, the last thing I want to do is I want to do these 5 problems to let me start here. I want to find slope, but I also want to just write the equation, right? Which is like a precursor to later on you're going to be doing this. So y equals mx plus b. M is your slope and b is your y-intercept. So let's just find our slope here. Looks like you went over 1 and up 2. So the slope is rise over run. Write it down every time. You'll get it memorized. That's 2 divided by 1. So my slope is 2. And so my slope is 2. Bob's making $2 a day. And it looks like you start off $2 in the hole. My equation here would be y equals 2x minus 2. Bob's $2 in the hole, but he's saving $2 every day. So here, once you try number 5, see if you can do it. Pause, and then I'll do it. I went over 1 and down 2. Anyways, so my slope is m equals rise over run. So that's negative 2 over 1, which is negative 2. And it looks like he starts off $1 in the hole. So y equals negative 2x, and it's minus 1. Bob owes $1, and he's spending $2 every day. He's in the hole, and he's going farther in the hole. So pause once you try number 6 here. So m equals rise over run. And it looks like you just went over 1 up 1. And so your slope is 1. Bob's saving $1 every day. And your y-intercept's 2. So my equation would be y equals just x plus 2. Bob has $2 and he's saving $1 every day. And this one right here, it's a flat line. That's a 0 slope. Shouldn't have to show you work for that. That's a 0 slope. If you want to, you can, but my slope is 0. My y-intercept, b, is 2. So my equation just y equals 0x plus 2. 0 times x is 0, so it's just y equals 2. Doesn't y always equal 2? 0, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, I mean, y equals 2. And if it's x equals 5, that's going to be a vertical line. Last one here, let's try, this one, yeah. So try number 8. I kind of messed up. I went over 2 down 4, but it's just over 1 down 2. My slope is rise over run. So it's -2 over 1. So my slope is just -2. If I wrote my equation here, I'm going to write y equals mx plus b. So my slope is -2. That's my coefficient. That's the number that goes in front of the x. And then my y-intercept is 1. Where does the line cut through the y-axis? Bob has $1. In my table, it'd be 0, 1. Plus 1. Bob has $1 and he's spending $2 every day. Anyways, there you go, buddy. Love you.